Memorising lots of new words in Spanish is a real challenge, and it's definitely a barrier to fluency. But something you may not have realised is that you know already well over 1,000 words in Spanish, and I'm going to show you in this video how to unlock those words. These words are known as cognates. They're words that have an equivalent in Spanish. Sometimes they're spelled exactly the same, and sometimes it's just a matter of changing just a few letters. In this video, I'm going to give you 19 groups of Spanish cognates, plus one extra bonus right at the end that's going to help you to unlock lots of new Spanish verbs and help you in your fluency. So let's get underway. Let's look at the first group of Spanish cognates. So, words that in English end T-I-O-N, in Spanish end C-I-O-N. Here's a few examples. So we have information, información, combination, combinación, definition, definición. This first group of cognates is one of the largest groups that there is, and this will really transform your Spanish fluency. Okay, so now let's look at the second group. Words that in English end OUS, in Spanish end OSO. Here's three examples. Delicious, delicioso. Fabulous, fabuloso. Famous, famoso. The third group are words that in English end in CT, in Spanish end CTO. Here's three examples. Contact, contacto. Correct, correcto. Direct, directo. Fourth group, words that in English end IC, in Spanish end ICO. Here's three examples. Basic, básico. Medic, médico. Organic, orgánico. What you may have noticed here is the accent mark in each of these words. Oftentimes words that end in ICO have an accent. This is because when a word in Spanish ends with a vowel, it's the penultimate syllable that's stressed. But there's a shift in stress here, and that's marked by this accent, so don't forget that. The fifth group, words that in English end NCE, in Spanish end NCIA. Now this could be with an A or an E, so it could be ansia or encia. Here's four examples. Distance, distancia. Importance, importancia. Experience, experiencia. Independence, independencia. Group number 6. Words that end M-E-N-T, in Spanish end M-E-N-T-O. Here's three examples. Document, documento. Moment, momento. Argument, argumento. Seventh group, words that end ID, in Spanish end I-D-O. And watch out again, just as in the example with words that end ICO, words that end IDO also have the shift in stress, which is marked with an accent. So here's three examples. Rapid, rápido. Timid, tímido. Acid, ácido. Next group, number 8, words that end ITY in English and IDAD in Spanish. Here's three examples. Electricity, electricidad. Identity, identidad. University, universidad. Group number 9, words that in English end ARY, in Spanish end ARIO. Here's three examples. Imaginary, imaginario. Ordinary, ordinario. Vocabulary, vocabulario. Group number 10, words that end ly in Spanish and ment. Here's three examples. Finally, finalmente. Normally, normalmente. Really, realmente. Group number 11, words that end sion in English end exactly the same in Spanish, but with an accent mark over the O to mark that the last syllable is the one that's stressed. Here's three examples. Conclusion, conclusión. Decision, decisión. Version, versión. Group 12, words that in English end IVE, in Spanish end IVO. Here's 3 examples. Active, activo. Negative, negativo. Native, nativo. Group 13. Words that end NT in English and NTE in Spanish. And this could be ANTE or ENTE. Here's 4 examples. Important, importante. Constant, constante. Accident, accidente. Evident, evidente. 14th group, words that end ISM in English and ISMO in Spanish. Here's 3 examples. Idealism, idealismo. Organism, organismo. Patriotism, patriotismo. Okay, the next few examples, the words are spelled exactly the same in English and in Spanish, but watch out for pronunciation. Okay, so words that end BLE end in exactly the same way in Spanish. So we have cable, cable, horrible, horrible, favourable, favorable. Group 16, words that end in AL in English and AL in Spanish. Here's 3 examples. Digital, digital. Animal, animal. Exceptional, excepcional. That last one is really interesting because we've combined 2 lots of cognates. First of all, we've got exception, which is excepción. So we've changed shun to sion. And then we've added AL, which is the same in English and Spanish. So we get excepcional. Group 17, words that end in AR in English and AR in Spanish. Here's 3 examples. Popular, popular. Regular, regular. Similar, similar. Group 18, words that end in OR in English and OR in Spanish. Here's 3 examples. Doctor, doctor. Actor, actor. Radiator, radiador. You notice that there's a slight change in that last one. Oftentimes a T becomes a D in Spanish, so watch out for that. Okay, group number 19, words that end IFY and IFICAR in Spanish, and these are verbs. So we have 3 examples. Identify, identificar. Modify, modificar. Simplify, simplificar. Okay, and now for the last one, for the bonus tip. To unlock lots of new Spanish verbs, there's a really simple way. What we have to do is look for words that in English end ation, A-T-I-O-N. We chop off the ation and we replace that with AR. And that gives us infinitive verbs in Spanish, 2 verbs. So here's a few examples. So in English, preparation, we take off the ation, we replace that with AR, and that gives us the verb to prepare, and that's preparar. Another one, situation. Chop off the ation, add AR, we get a 2 verb, we get to situate, situar. Another one, combination. Take off the ation, replace it with AR, what do we get? Combinar, which means to combine. Now for the last one. This one's a little bit odd as it's not a word that we use very often in English, but there is a reason that I've included it. So, lamentation. Take off the ation, replace it with AR, we get lamentar, which means to lament. Now that's not a word that we would use very often in English, but it's perfectly acceptable to use in Spanish because it just means to be sorry for doing something. Now the reason that I've included this word is because oftentimes in English we have 2 words for the same thing. We have one that has its Germanic roots and one that has its Latin roots. By figuring out the words that come from Latin, these sort of posh words, more formal words like lament, we can unlock tons and tons of new words in Spanish. And I'm going to be discussing tips like these in a new video called How to Learn Spanish Fast. So make sure to check that video out as it's coming very soon. Now, before you all go rush into the comment section, I am aware that there are exceptions to these cognates and there are false cognates, and I'm also going to be making a video on those soon, the most common false cognates. But one tip, if you want to learn Spanish fast, here's a taster of the new video. Don't ever be scared to make mistakes. With language learning and often in life in general, when we make mistakes, we learn so much more than we do when we get things right. And it's not a bad thing to make mistakes in language. What you want to always do is try. You want to speak as much as possible, and you'll learn so much from when you do make those mistakes. So don't worry about those. If you are fearful when you speak a language, that's only ever going to hold you back. So make sure to be bold when you're speaking Spanish. Okay, so now over to you. How did you find today's video? Did you learn lots of new cognates? Were you already aware of the ones discussed in this video? How are you going to use them? Are you scared about making a mistake? Let me know in the comments down below, as I make sure to read every single one and I reply to as many as I can. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and also make sure to subscribe, as I have new videos coming every week. So, thanks for watching and I'll see you next week.